Welcome into the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com. For Thursday, October 27th, I'm Tom Leach. Jim Goodman's alongside the Director of Mutuals and Simulcasting. We'll take a look at the Thursday feature and the late pick four, and the features in the 8th race. And it's a pretty well-matched group, I thought. It was on the Derby Trail back in the spring, coming in here. Who'd you like?
I think Dazzling Jim is going to be the favorite, but I like a horse named Dolphus. I remember this horse when he debuted last year at Fairgrounds. He's the half-brother of Rachel Alexandra, and Dee Dee McGahee kept this horse. He's out of course, Lotta Kim, Rachel's mother, and they really liked this horse. He's a big, long, striding horse, and he came out and won first out. He wasn't a secret. He's 8-5, and I think they had a lot of hopes for him, and then it just didn't quite pan out. I don't think they thought he'd be running in October of his 3-year-old year for non-winners of two other than. So, but he's got a lot of talent, and they tried him in a little stakes race last time, Delaware, and he ran kind of okay. Gave him a little rest. Ortiz takes the ride, which is a move up from Hernandez, and I think Dolphus fits here, and I think he might get a decent price, 5 or 6 to 1. I think Dazzling Jim is going to be the favorite for Brad Cox, but he hasn't been out since May, so I'm thinking he might need one. He ran well in the Louisiana Derby. Within 5 lengths of Gun Runner, came back and ran the Arkansas Derby, and they took him off the trail and went to the Sir Barton, the undercard, on the Preakness Day, and hasn't done much, hadn't been out since then. So obviously there's a little issue there. The other horses, Birdsong, I think has a shot for Ian Wilkes, and Ian has done well this meet with 6 wins. And What Everybody Wants for Kellen Gorder has a shot from the outside. Again, stakes races, has placed in a stakes race. The West Virginia Derby, ran second there. So I'm going to take Dolphus, a little bit of a price, but in my pick 4 I will use more than just Dolphus, but he is my pick in this race.
That's where I started to go, and then I decided to shop for even bigger price, and I went 5 Papa Zulu. I saw this horse win last time at Churchill, and I thought it was real impressive. Big improvement in that first start for Buff Bradley, and we've certainly seen what Buff can do with a good horse. The runner-up in that race was Goatstown, came back to win here earlier in the meet. So I'm going to take a shot with Papa Zulu here, and then use him in exactas with Dolphus, Dazzling Jim, Birdsong, and also the 3 Clear the Mind. And in doing a pick 4 ticket, I wanted to go 5 deep in the first 3 legs, which if I singled the last race would have made it a $125 $1 ticket. So that's getting a little pricey, and I didn't want to single in the last race. So I had to take a few stands and cross out a few horses. So I ended up in the 6th race where the pick 4 starts using Morocco, who's my win pick, with Viva Leroy, War Union, and Big Band. But I also like J-Boy's Echo and Tis Fun and Gervais. But I had to stop somewhere, so I did 5, 10, 11, 2. In the 7th race, Hot Dad was the win pick. Also used Tell the Truth and Sea Power, but there were a couple others I liked in there. Papa Zulu in the 8th with Dolphus, Clear the Mind, Dazzling Jim, and Birdsong, so 5 deep there. And then I'm going to go limit myself to 2 deep in the last leg. Patterson Cross is the one I like. Slightly over Imperia, so 9 and 10, but Tis a Runner was a horse I would like to include in there. If your budget permits, then go for it. But I'm going to start out 4 by 3, by 5, by 2 on my pick 4. How about you?
Yeah, I couldn't find a single either. I went through here and just I couldn't take a stand, so I wound up spreading a $72 ticket out, which is not the way I like to do it. I'd like to take a stand somewhere and go deeper elsewhere, because invariably where you take 3 or 4, you should have taken 4 or 5. But I'm going to limit the ticket to $72. And first leg in the 6th race, I agree with you. If I were going to take a single, it might be Morocco. I think the horse for Mott, always better second back. Tough maiden race at Belmont, caught a muddy track and didn't run very well, and also was not well meant there. They didn't bet Mott first out at 29 to 1. Been working well, but I can't take a single here. I'm also going to use the entry. I'm assuming Asmussen will only run 1. Commandeering is the horse that has the experience and comes in off a race at Keeneland. So Commandeering the Insurgent would be my other use in there in the entry, and J-Boy's Echo for Dale Romans. 6-1 morning line, but comes off a really good race at Churchill where he ran second the first time out. So we use 1-4-5. Second race, I go 2-3-5-6 with Sea Rover, Nassau Talent, Hot Dad, and Tell the Truth. Feature race 2-4-9, the ones I talked about there, Dazzling Jim, Dolphus, and What Everybody Wants. And the last leg, I've got a little bit of a ringer here. I don't think you mentioned this horse. I think Czar. I really liked him last time out at Keeneland. He comes back off just a week's rest. Didn't get anything out of the race. He got out late. He was 6 wide, and I just think they kind of ran him around the track. And Alvarado, I'm not saying he didn't try with him, but I think he was in a position. He's 20-1 morning line. I think Czar has a shot here. Tis a Runner. When you mentioned the 3 horse, I would use Barahona, the 8, and Imperia and Bala Rocks, the 10 and the 11. So actually, I would go 5 deep here. I'll go 2, 3, 8, 10, 11. I think it's $90 instead of 72. So if you can afford that, if not, cut it down and find you a single somewhere.
Tough card on Thursday, so best of luck with your wagers. And if you can't make it out to the track, play at Keeneland Select. We should also remind folks, Jim, since next week is Breeders' Cup, that not going to be Breeders' Cup simulcasting at Keeneland. It's going to be at the Red Mile here in Lexington for patrons who want to come out and make bets here in the Lexington market. They need to do it at Red Mile, right?
Yeah, that's correct. We, of course, 2 years ago, we did have Breeders' Cup simulcasting here, and we think that it's we've already opened the simulcasting facility in there. It's been there over a year, and we've got a very nice facility with really good TV coverage, great parking. We're going to open at 8 a.m. each day. We're not going to have a drive-through, but we're going to have, you can park and bet. So you can go in at 8 o'clock and make your wagers and go back home if you want to, go back to work. But it's first come, first serve, plenty of seating. There is a dining option at $60. We're going to have a great buffet in the clubhouse, and only about 200 tickets available. So if you're interested there, go to Red Mile, theredmile.com and get your tickets there and make your reservations for Breeders' Cup. It's going to be a great couple of days of racing.
Best of luck with your Thursday wagers. We'll be back with another edition of the In the Money podcast for Friday from KeenelandSelect.com.